What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Daily Refinement. Today, we're going to do a goals call with Raquel. It's Moxie from Roxy Shop.
Yeah. Mhm.
Awesome. So I'm super excited to have you here. Today, we're going to talk about setting realistic eBay or Poshmark or reselling goals in general, going over time management, going over scheduling, and just making sure that you are on the right track and making steady progress. And that is the goal of my channel right now, is for people to pick one goal and then every day make daily progress to it. So Raquel, why don't you introduce yourself and tell us a little about you and where you live?
Great. And thank you so much for having me, by the way, Chris. I am Raquel, and I'm at Moxie from Roxy on Poshmark, and I live in Los Angeles.
I was on mute. So you live in Los Angeles. Are you a student right now? Are you selling full time? What's your jam?
So right now, I am selling full time for a few months before I'm going into my fall semester. So I am a student. I went back to school just to change careers. I'm actually in school for fashion merchandising and marketing. So I'm just finishing my bachelor's with that. So it ties in with my business as well. So right now I have some downtime in between um, my semesters because I finished all my other credits and then I start back up in the fall. So I have a lot of time to dedicate to my business, which is great.
Sounds great. So what's your experience level? Have you been doing this for a while? Have you always had an interest in fashion? Have you sold online before? Where are you at right now?
Yeah, so I've been on Poshmark since around when they launched in 2012. So I was in the fashion industry. I was selling jewelry with Stella and Dot. And I started that in 2010. And then I was selling off some of my samples on Poshmark when they first launched and just got a pretty good success from the start. Um, and then I went to my first Posh Fest in 2016. And that's when I really realized like that, the just sourcing in LA, everything. I just didn't know that there were so many resellers out there. It never occurred to me that this could be like a full-time or even part-time job, really. So I just really kicked it into high gear after that.
And when you were at Posh Fest, did you meet people who were full time, part time? Did you meet the whole spectrum?
Yeah, definitely met the whole spectrum. I met sellers that would sell like brand new clothing. I met a lot of resellers, and I mean, I hadn't set foot in a thrift store in years. I mean, it just never occurred to me to shop there. And when I started shopping and sourcing and just really branching out, I realized that there's just a whole another world out there. So I got really excited and just decided that a regular 9 to 5 was just not for me anymore. So
Awesome. So
yeah,
you actually have a really interesting gig with reselling because you can make it as big or as small as you want. You can do it while in school. You could do it and have a job. So,
right.
this is kind of personal, but like, are you married? Do you have kids, or what's your obligation time wise?
So I just got married recently, and I don't have kids, and I have a lot of time. But that's my issue is I have a lot of time, but and I'm a hard worker and I'm really dedicated, but I'm just having a hard time like scrambling and getting everything organized because I'm doing all the steps like sourcing, listing, packaging all on my own. So I have
Okay.
to balance.
So
So
this is my goal. So I think that with reselling, especially e-commerce, I personally like selling clothing. So I think that with clothing, there's a few different stations of the reselling part. There's the sourcing, there's prepping, there's measuring, there's photography, there is packing, there's display. Some people have a brick and mortar. There's also shipping, there's also customer service. So I would like you to create a manual of all the different processes that you do. And so,
okay,
checklist wise, exactly how long everything takes so that you could have the option of having somebody else do it.
right,
So on my channel, I want people to know exactly what it takes time wise. Like it takes you 12 minutes to get a listing from out of your car into the bin or storage onto the rack ready to be shipped.
right.
Um, that
Okay,
I'm excited for because once you know how long it takes, reselling to me is just a numbers game as far as like how much you want to get into. So I'm going to ask like, do you know how much income you would like to make?
Yeah, well, I would definitely my goal is around like $100 a day or around 3,000 a month or something like that. Like that's definitely I feel like that's definitely attainable. And um I mean, if not more than that, of course, but right now I think around 3,000, and that would be profit. That ideally, that would be,
Pre-tax.
yeah.
Gotcha.
So,
Perfect. So that's a great goal to have. Do you have an idea of what your margins are right now for the stuff that you sell?
I was doing the math on that, and it was around like a 50%. So, or sometimes more higher. So it's great. Um,
Gotcha.
yeah.
So that's perfect. And then let's talk about platforms. Do you sell on eBay? Do you sell on Poshmark, Etsy? Where are you selling things?
So the bulk of my sales are on Poshmark right now, and I've branched off, and I've also sold on Tradesy. I have a Depop account. I haven't really been selling on that as I don't think I've sold anything on that actually because everything ends up selling on my Poshmark. But I branched off on that, and then I did sell a few things on eBay, but very minimal. So Poshmark's my main one, but I mean I'm definitely open to cross posting and stuff like that. So
Posh, Depop, and you just tried Tradesy?
yeah, Tracy's been good too. I've had a few sales on that too. I don't list on those as much because it's like takes so much time with Poshmark that going to the other ones, I just haven't organized myself to like be able to list on so many at once type of thing. Plus I'm
No,
scared that I'll sell something and then I'll
of course.
forget that it's on
That
the
is a
other
little bit
ones.
scary.
Yeah.
Have to shout out Ahmad with the $100 super chat. Thank you. That is very generous. Ahmad is super awesome, and if you don't know him already, I got to introduce you to him on Instagram. He's Luxurious Products USA,
Okay.
and Ahmad just for his goal has been to pay five figures in eBay fees. So in this
Wow.
month he paid, or in March he paid $9,300 in eBay fees. So just
Wow.
gives you an idea. Between eBay and Poshmark, he's doing 100,000 a month. So
That is crazy. Oh my God. That's
crazy,
amazing.
right?
That's amazing.
Crazy. So that's Ahmad. He's really cool, very nice, and he will. You should network with a whole bunch of people in the community. And I would say by far that is going to be the most profitable thing you can do in your reselling career. Is not reselling. It's not. It's the people that you meet that
Right.
help you grow skill wise. It's just unbelievable. Like Ahmad and I've been talking for a long time, and we're battling, trying to beat each other on Poshmark because he and I started the same day,
Oh,
and
nice.
he became Posh ambassador, and I literally earlier than me. I had to stay up like all night trying to get it, and it was just awesome because it's fun to have people to compete against.
Yeah, definitely.
So that's awesome. So you kind of have an idea of where you want to sell. I think it's very important to have a system because it gets a little bit complicated when you sell on multiple platforms because one will end on one side and then you'll have to quickly end it. And so right now, are you just not cross promoting or like only Posh things and only eBay things, or how are you splitting it up?
So right now I'll take like the designer items that are a little bit higher price point and I'll put those on Tradesy actually because I feel like that the market is um, better for that on Tradesy sometimes, just in my
Okay.
experience. So I'll post it on Poshmark and Tradesy at the same time. And sometimes, I'll go and I'll source something and I find out it's a men's pair of jeans I accidentally grabbed or something. So that I'll throw that on eBay because my Poshmark closet is predominantly for women's clothing and accessories and stuff. So, and I've had success with selling to men on eBay. So it really depends on the item. If I'm really excited to list it, I'll put it on everything, to see which one
I
sells
have
first.
noticed I sell a lot of stuff on Poshmark to men, but women are the ones buying it.
Oh, right. Yeah,
So
that's
I
what I've
wonder if
heard.
they're getting it for their man, or I'm not
Hmm.
sure exactly, but on trend stuff seems to sell just fine.
Yeah,
Like I am noticing that the more plain Jane, normal stuff, even for women like Eileen Fisher, I sell for
right,
more money on eBay, even though
right,
it's a women's brand primarily. I mean,
right.
I think only maybe it's only women's.
Hmm. Yeah, I've noticed it's more the trendy stuff is popular on Poshmark, and then yeah, like your Eileen Fisher, more of your like contemporary but women's brands for maybe a little bit older women that they'll they'll shop on eBay more maybe. So
So I really like your ability because you've already branded yourself as a shop, like your Instagram name. Are you thinking about potentially using that to drive traffic at all, or what are you using your Instagram for?
Um, yeah, I'm using it to drive traffic and just to kind of just document like my daily uh, journey through reselling and just like my art too, because I love being creative with the photos and styling and stuff like that. So yeah, it's kind of just like a branding tool right now,
Mhm.
and a way to connect, of course, with like my posture friends and eBay friends and stuff like that. So yeah, I definitely would want to promote that more too. So
Awesome. So I'm going to give you a couple of different ideas. And the first idea is I'm trying to show people how to do 100K a year, because the reason why I picked that goal is because it never goes as planned, right? So I'd like you to fail and still make $1,000 a week, which is like the lowest that I'm trying to do. Because with $1,000 a week, you live in California, $1,000 a week is still barely getting by. Your 3,000,
exactly.
your 3,000 net goal is like cute, but here it's like so hard to get by. You can't do anything with 3 grand. At least up
No,
here, it's
trust me,
crazy.
it's like I don't know. It's like that's bare bones living.
Yeah,
Like
no, I hear you. Bare bones living.
student,
It's tough.
student. Yeah.
So that being said, I want you to set your goal at 100K.
Okay.
And think about that. And then also, when you put that as your goal, all your processes will come together for that so that you can grow into it. I made the mistake of, like, when I first started, I didn't think that big. I was like, I was just going to replace my income, or I wanted to make X amount of money. And that was the wrong way to do it, because it was really painful growing from no system into a system. So if you're just
Right.
getting started right now, you can skip all the pain and just start with the idea of making six figures. So here is the game plan for you. And I think you can do it because of your store. So
Okay.
I would like you to make $100 a day net in three categories. Okay, so one of the categories for sure can be jewelry. Since you have a little bit of a background, I think you need to understand how much inventory you need in your store in order to sell a few different pieces a day to equal the $100 profit. So do you have any idea on how many or how much profit you make, let's say, on a piece of jewelry on average?
Um, I mean, I guess it would be. It just really depends on where. Like, it just depends on the piece. But
So are you selling accessories? Are you selling rings, like diamonds? What's the average sale price, you think?
so right now I'm selling like earrings, necklaces, bracelets, and the average sale price is maybe like $15 or $20 or something. It's low. Like that, I haven't really been into the jewelry as much as the clothing, as far as sales. I have a lot more clothing sales right now than jewelry, and
Gotcha.
it's because when I'm sourcing, I'm finding more clothes, honestly. So
Fair
um,
enough. That
yeah,
being said, I don't want you to waste your jewelry background, because I think that
right,
that's super cool and you have an advantage there. So, because it's a little bit cheaper, you're going to have to go a couple different routes, in my opinion. You're going to have to get a little bit of a wholesale account.
okay,
So, you could say, let's say, for an example, you have 500 different bracelets, wristlets, necklaces, whatever, a nice inventory in stock. And on Poshmark is a really good opportunity because additional items ship for the same price.
right,
So I feel like jewelry is an awesome opportunity to upsell, because you can say, check out my, you can even put that in your Posh description, add a piece of jewelry without any additional shipping. I think that that's awesome, because for me, I hated selling jeans on Poshmark. They just sell a lot better for me on eBay. But once my store got bigger, everyone was adding a pair of jeans to their order
okay,
because they didn't have to pay the additional shipping on it. And it was like a fantastic upsell.
right.
So now I'm going to add that back in, to the point where, for me, I think that I think for me, sell through rate on normal jeans is around 20%. I'm sorry, with trendy jeans is 20%. And with non trendy jeans is about 10%. So that's just saying, let's say I make 15 bucks a pair of jeans. I need to sell six of them a day. So I'm going to work my way backwards and determine, okay, that would mean I need 400 jeans in stock to make $100 a day in just the jean category.
Okay.
And
Right.
it's very predictable. You can do shoes. You can do, Ahmad sells a lot of luxury goods. So like he may sell women's accessories, purses or whatever. He knows that X amount of purses is the right selection so people can go buy. And if you look at his listings in his store, I don't know if he wants me to shout out his store or not. He might want it to be private, but in his listings, he has a multiple selection. So I think that's great because women, when they're looking for an accessory, it's to be able to have a selection is a good buying experience.
Definitely. Yeah.
So I want you to focus on that for sure, because jewelry, and the way that you would do it is just work your way backwards and think about how many you sell per month with how many you have sold.
Okay.
Grow it to a certain level, and then you can think, okay, I need to sell 6 pieces of jewelry at $15. Oh, I'm sorry, let's go backwards. On a $15 sale, if it's $12 after Posh, if you paid, let's say 5, and you're doubling up, you make $6 profit. You would
Mhm.
need to sell, let's say, 20 a day.
Okay.
So 20 a day pieces of jewelry. So that's 600 per month. If you sell 10% of your inventory, that's like 6,000 unique pieces of jewelry. It's kind of a lot.
Yeah.
But that's a store where basically all you would have to do to maintain that is replace the 600 each week.
Right.
So I want you to stay patient till you build a store to a certain size, because maintaining a store is much easier than trying to grow your store to whatever level you want to go to.
Okay.
So at that level, you can say to yourself, okay, I know how much work it takes me to find 600 pieces of jewelry. I can do that with school,
Hmm.
or I can decide, okay, I don't have enough time for that. I need to hire my friend to go get 600 pieces of jewelry for me to put
Right.
into the bucket. So that's a good way to think about exactly how much time each category gets. So what's another category that you sell besides jewelry?
Well, like you said, the jeans are actually a great seller for me as well. Jeans, tops, sweaters are great in the winter. Maybe
Sure.
not right now, but yeah, I like that. That's like a bread and butter. Jeans and dresses too. Dresses
So I
too.
don't know how to do the dress game, but it is
Yeah.
awesome. Obviously, like I'm even thinking about just wholesaling. I have so many dresses because when I buy lots, dresses are what people want the most.
Yeah.
Well, female buyers want dresses the most, and I don't know how to. I just have a big pile, so I need to figure out how to do that. But I love the dress game, but I don't understand it at all because I feel like it's not as price sensitive. If
Right.
women want to look a certain way, it doesn't. 300 and 400 is the same,
Right.
but yet finding the right piece at the right time, I
Hmm.
feel like might be a little bit challenging.
Yeah, it
How do
is.
you determine your dress mix? Is it like every season, or how do you shop?
I really just I look for trendy brands and styles mainly when I'm shopping. Just something that I know is catches my eye, and if it's something that I would want to wear, then I'll put it up in my closet.
Is it
Um,
scary to buy your own size?
yeah, because then I want to keep it. But yeah, I can't be a hoarder. So.
So behind you, do you is the stuff that you wear actually on sale, or do you feel like that's not the way to do it?
Oh no, yeah. So basically, if I find something that I like, then I'll, say that okay, this is mine, and maybe I'll wear it once, do a photo shoot with it or something, and then wash it, and then I'll sell it or something, later. But yeah, the stuff behind me I need to list actually, and then I have all my listed stuff in bins right now. So
Awesome.
yeah.
So let's talk about what your skills are. Do you
Okay.
feel like you have a good grasp of photography, listing, sourcing? Are there any weak points or things you want to work on?
Yeah, I mean, I think I have a good grasp on photography and listing, but it's just I'm just having a kind of a challenge right now with managing my data as far as like on my computer and on my phone, and my phone's been kind of wigging out on me. I think it's just there's so many photos on there, and I have a external hard drive, and I drag and drop and dump and everything, but my phone's a little bit older now, and then I think yeah, I'm having issues with the technology lately, but
Hmm.
so that I need to improve that, and then I definitely want to become more efficient by getting like a printer, like a label printer, um, and what else was I gonna? I can't remember off the top of my head right now, but just like technical things I need to improve just to make it a real professional, you know, like workspace, really.
I
So,
agree. I think that data management is really big. I've been like really hardcore working on email management,
mhm.
trying to get everything in where it's supposed to be. And it just is supposed to speed things up, like data wise. Because Poshmark has no record keeping, really, it forced me to start doing it manually.
Yeah,
So I know now exactly. Like last week, I made 791 profit on Poshmark. And I was like, interesting. I can look at now how to adjust for this week. And I think it's
right.
very interesting. But I now do that process while shipping.
Oh, that's
So
good. Yeah.
during shipping, I update it. And so that it's just updated then. I don't, and I'm just telling myself, I'm not going to go to the post office until the accounting is done.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Otherwise, I would just never do it. I say I'll do it later and then I end up not doing it at all. So
Right.
that's not the way to do it.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Leah is saying dresses are good if they're a complete outfit. Um, Stuff that you don't really see at malls because it's too common.
Right.
Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, sometimes I pick them up if they're super discounted or like on the, sale days or whatever. If they're $1, then yeah, I'll grab it because someone's gonna buy it usually if it's cute and still on trend. But yeah, mall brands can be just because they're so deeply discounted anyways, brand new sometimes that it's the customer doesn't see the value in paying the 650 shipping and so yeah, I try and grab more high end dresses.
Are dresses heavy?
No, they're pretty light. They're lighter than jeans. Jeans are the heaviest like that.
So they're less than a pound.
Yeah, definitely.
Hmm.
Hmm.
So it's definitely like if a a savvy female shopper is like it's gonna ship first class mail. I really don't want to pay 650. Is that kind of a thing? Could be.
I mean, if it's one of those cheaper brands, maybe you're tacking that like $6 onto the price. So it's like if they're paying $10 for a dress and then now it's $16. I mean, I don't know. I guess it really just depends.
Okay.
But um,
So I like this because skill development wise, I would want you to set goals like, for example, list at least 5 an hour or list 10 an hour. And once you're at that skill level, and then you may want to have somebody else do it, or you may want to just like you're efficient enough. And going to the store, this is something interesting. Do you have much of a death pile? Do you have stuff a lot of stuff that's unlisted or a manageable amount, do you think?
I think it's pretty manageable because I try and list before sourcing again for the most part because I don't want it to get out of control. And I feel like it's just money sitting on the table. Like I need to get it up. So yeah, I try and dedicate definitely huge chunks of my day of listing and photographing, even though it can be tedious and boring at home, by yourself all day doing that. But yeah. Uh,
Do you have a profit goal per item?
um, Not necessarily because, I mean, oh, like as far as like margin goes, like making it
Or
like
margin or
yeah,
like
like
20?
definitely like a 50%. Like,
So
definitely.
as in like you want to double your money? Is that how you
Yeah,
look at it?
double. Yeah.
Gotcha. So if you're buying, let's say,
At
do you
least
know your
double. Yeah.
average sale price for the items in your store, roughly?
Uh I would have to go back and calculate that, but I want to say it was around I did it a long time ago. It was around like $25 or something, I would
Okay.
say.
So
Yeah.
that being said, that is going to bring us down to time management, which I think is the part that we have a goal, which is you want to net at least 3,000 per month, which I think is a great goal. So you need to set a plan to make 100 grand. So because it's not going to go like that, especially when you first start.
Hmm.
And that's going to involve something like 20 hours of sourcing, 15 hours of photography, 5 hours of whatever. And the more focused you are in that, the easier your business is going to be.
Okay.
And I'll tell you that the thing that will transform your business is spending three or four more, like most of your time sourcing
Okay.
will make your business really good because what'll happen is you'll start say that right now you're $25 because you're going to 4 or 5 times more thrift stores. You're going to start picking. It's going to go from $25 to $50 because you're getting more opportunities to find good stuff.
Right.
And when that happens, you don't have any issue listing something really good.
Right.
Everybody lists that. It's the stuff that's 20 that you got for $1 that's kind of sitting there for most people.
Exactly. Yeah.
They get
Where I
it's
totally
like
know.
you bought it because it was cheap, not because it was on trend.
Right. Right.
So those are good, but they can get you kind of stuck. So I want you to look at your schedule. So let's talk about,
Okay.
this is going to be scary, but like when do you go to bed? When do you wake up? What's your routine?
Okay. So I usually wake up around like 8-ish, but I work out pretty much like an hour every morning. So I'll go and do my workout, and then sometimes I'll just go straight from working out to sourcing, like for an hour or so, and then it's like I'll eat lunch and then start photographing, listing, and that I feel like that takes the most of my time, is the photographing, listing. And I used to wash everything, and now I'm basically just throwing everything in a hot dryer, and unless it needs to be washed, because there's just too many resources, and I don't actually have a good washer at my apartment, so I'd have to go to the laundromat, and it was just not a smart way to run the business. And everything's like pretty much clean, so it's like
You're not in the
washing it twice.
4:30 a.m. club?
I know, right?
I know, right?
Oh man,
So
I need to
okay,
be. I need to.
so 8 o'clock workout, and then you're working throughout the day, and then when you have husband time, do you talk about Poshmark and eBay too much? Does he care? Does he work with you on it? What's that whole deal in the evening time?
So he works in sales, so he doesn't come home till like 9:30, and so I'm working until he comes home, and sometimes still sharing even after he gets home if we're watching Netflix or something. So Poshmark is it's like life. But then sometimes he's like, all right, put the phone down. It's time to just chill, So it's either that or when the battery dies. So then I'm like, okay, battery's dying. Let's take a break. So.
Perfect. So do you hang out with him in the morning at all?
Um, yeah, like for just a little while. He usually wakes up like only a half hour before he gets ready really fast and is gone by 9. So he has long days too. So his
Man,
days off
that's
are like kind of like my days off a little bit. Like I'll give myself okay, because he has like Thursday, Fridays off. So I'll be like, okay, Thursday's kind of like fun day or whatever. But I still go sourcing sometimes too. So
man,
I don't
this
know.
is exactly what sales is like.
Yeah.
Like as a guy, I remember I only had to wake up like literally 10 minutes before I had to leave.
Yeah, that's
So it's totally different as a guy versus a woman in
oh my
that
God, I
respect.
know. And it's
I
like you
think
don't have to do your makeup or your hair or anything.
just get up and you're ready. And then it really is like that. People, because like I'm taking a gigantic risk by not being in sales.
Right.
Sales pays so much money.
Yeah.
You get all the money, you get all the perks, you get to go to the Lakers game and spend money with clients, and like you get a steak dinner and everybody else gets a salad at the meeting. Like that's the
Right.
life. But then you really do get home at like 9 p.m.
Yeah. And no
So if you're
weekends
closing
off. So
deals,
yeah.
no, it's tough.
Hmm.
So I get it. Okay, cool. So
Yeah.
he's in sales, so you have time to do it.
Yeah. Definitely.
Okay. So I will give you some inspiration.
Okay.
There are people that are in like I have a mastermind group, and I also talk to lots of people. There are people who part time make 6 figures on eBay and Poshmark. So that's just in a 20-hour window. They're able to do that. But what that requires is a few different things. Your processes have to be super tight, so you know how to get everything listed right away. And the sourcing route needs to be set. You need to have a predictable type of inventory coming into your store.
Okay.
So the people who go to the next level either have wholesale contracts, or they know people at stores are looking out for them for certain things, or they just go to enough stores per week in their route.
Okay.
I would recommend you build in 50 places to source.
Oh wow. Okay.
Kind of crazy, but that's 10, that's
That's
10 a
awesome.
day, 10 a
Okay.
day when you're not on his days off.
Okay.
And that should take you 5 hours, even in LA traffic, because a lot of places are going to be close.
Okay.
So you need to make a map. You should be
Okay.
writing this down. Make a map.
Okay. I'll probably watch this again just to get all the
For sure.
information.
So you need to make a map for sure. Try to visit 50 places per week.
Okay.
And I only say that because you live in LA.
Yeah.
Okay, so some people can't do that. But
Right.
for like me, there are 220 places I can source within an hour.
Whoa.
It's just crazy. It's so
That is crazy.
like dense. And then also
Yeah.
like I'm learning retail arbitrage. I'm doing so I'll tell you, as if you're gonna consider reselling as a career, just in my opinion, you should learn Poshmark, you should learn Amazon, you should learn eBay, Depop, just so you can get an idea of what's out there. You don't have to focus on it.
Right.
But you'll get an idea. Like, for example, I'm 1 for 1 on Depop, so I'm not sure if I want to continue because it was like I can retire. I sold 100% of items on there, but I just wanted to see what's up with it.
Yeah.
So it's important for you, just like when you're in a real job, you have certifications for different things.
Hmm.
I think you should be certified in at least a couple platforms so you can get an idea of where you want to spend your time.
Okay.
So 50 sourcing. This is the I'm giving you the math for a 6-figure person.
Okay.
If you
Just
average to a store,
Mhm.
that's 100 items. Go ahead.
Oh, I just had a question about like how long do you recommend spending in one, like how long do you recommend spending like your time in one store? Because sometimes it takes me a while to get through everything.
I think less than 10 minutes.
Really? How do you
Yeah.
find everything?
Because so for me at this point, I'm looking for $30 profit and higher.
Okay.
So since I'm just learning the dress game, I only have time to look for brand new dresses.
Okay.
So I go through the dress rack. If it doesn't have tags, I don't have time to really spend through there. I'm going to shoes because shoes are fast.
Yeah.
I'm going through blazers because it's very common to find one blazer that's $100.
Okay.
So if you can get into if that's your jam. For me, it's a guy, it's easier. Plus, I was the guy that wore this stuff.
Right.
So I can kind of get an idea when I go through there quickly. And then the shoe game is huge. And on Poshmark, with your weight advantage of over 1 pound shipping for $650, boots, as you know, like I'm killing it with boots right now.
That's
So I
awesome.
feel like you need to go through the shoe section quickly.
Okay.
And I really worry about people who spend like an hour or more per store, because then what happens is you're picking up stuff that I think you shouldn't be picking up.
Okay.
In my opinion, because I think
Okay.
you're going to run into a really good brand if you just go to a few more stores.
True.
And I want you to have the capital ready when you find a lady who donates 10 dojo jeans. You want to be
Yeah.
have money ready to do it,
Right.
because that's how I see it. It's not really like I'm saying 100 items for 50 stores. That's really little, right? In
Yeah.
3 hours, you could probably pull 25 to 50 items out of one store.
Wow, that's awesome.
Right. So
Yeah.
that's how people can do it. But I'm just saying, if I was going to recommend what to do, I would pick $50 ASP or higher
Okay.
and go to more stores, meet more managers. They're going to know you. They're going to like you. Ask for the nice lady discount. People be like,
Mhm.
okay, I'll give you the nice lady. And if you can get to the point where you know a manager and they like, I'll give you 50% on everything because you buy so often,
Yeah.
or you're a friendly face, or you help them move boxes or whatever. That's all part of the game, and that's going to happen organically. And I think that's cool because we just came back from a thrift store, my photographer and they know me there, and they're like, oh yeah, well, we're looking for certain things for you. We'll text you
Oh.
if certain things comes up. And the thing is, like, they also get fired for doing that. So like, be careful not to ask for a discount if there's a manager there or something. Just be cognizant, because I don't need a discount. I just need them to have it for me.
Yeah.
And that's the best, because when you're driving around from store to store and they already have the stuff ready for you, then you're killing it.
That's so
And, and,
awesome.
and
Yeah.
this is what I'm talking about with the people who make 6 figures part-time. They're not spending any time sourcing really.
Okay.
They just go get it and come back, or they order it and it comes to their house.
Okay.
And then they're really, really good at, I've very rarely seen people that are good at more than 2 or 3 categories. So I don't want you to go too wide. So for me, it's outerwear, shoes, and I'm getting in the athleisure. That's where I want to be,
Yeah.
because I like it. I think it's fun. It's like I bought all of it for myself so I can see what it feels like. Kind of. It's all right.
Hmm.
There's not too many styles for guys.
Hmm.
Athleisure is like 4 brands, but like I'm getting into it a little bit so I can understand what's trendy.
Yeah.
And I'm also thinking like a basic white girl so that I can serve this lady on Poshmark. like exactly what it is.
Yeah,
Because I
like the
just think
Lululemon.
that's who I want to serve, right? So
Mhm.
I have it all. I have all designer stuff now. I have a pink rose gold iPhone. I use only Ray-Ban stuff. I'm trying to like just think, what would this girl think is cute? Going into my store.
That's awesome.
So I'm loving it. So that's important too,
Good.
because your boss is actually your customer.
Right.
So whoever you want to serve, your job now, and this is why I think all women should marry salespeople, because our salespeople's jobs is just looking for solutions. We're
True.
solutions based, and I think it's the way you should think when you're building out your store. I really like the 3 product mix model. I like your brand,
Thank you.
because the Moxie from Roxy, I to me it gets confusing. I always think Roxy from Moxie, but yeah,
Yeah.
it's a good brand because it's a store.
Thank you.
And then also on top of that, there is this demographic of reselling is heavily women.
Hmm.
So if you want to get into the habit of doing YouTube hauls and build a little bit of a brand for yourself, it opens up a lot more opportunities beyond it. For me, I could do a haul video and it's funny, but I don't know if women really want to buy stuff from me constantly. I'm thinking about getting like a female co-host that can explain why things are cute,
Right.
because it's kind of like the guy version of sports in my opinion, because women watch it even if they don't need anything. And my
True.
girlfriend would rather watch a haul video than sports any day.
Yeah, definitely. I would
So
too.
like she would definitely be into it. And then if she sees something she likes, she just gets it.
Right.
So if you could
Um,
do that before your system, you can make ad revenue and sales. But go ahead.
well, so I was thinking about doing that, and then I was worried that it would kind of lower the value because if people knew that I was getting all this stuff at Goodwill, and I've seen another reseller like complain about getting just kind of like trolls coming in and stuff on her page just because she was telling prices of things she sourced and then she's reselling it for this much. So I just didn't know like how, candid is should you be, with
This
with
is
you.
this is funny because I'm in sales and I have been rejected in my life thousands and thousands of times. And it still did not prepare me for how brutal social media is.
Right.
So, like, I think after you do it for like a year, I've been doing it for a year and 1 month now, and now I feel so zen because it's like there's been so much stuff that's hurled at you,
Hmm.
and then once you're okay with it, like I can't even. That's like the second biggest. The first benefit is the people you meet. The second benefit is how zen you become because you don't have to worry about what other people think anymore,
Right.
and you just do you. And if you can just do you, your channel will work really well. And if you try to make it about somebody else or make sure people like you or whatever, it's not going to work.
So do you think that disclosing prices that you purchase, your inventory, is that a good move or what do you think about that?
I think it's better to talk about the market value versus what you paid for it.
Okay.
Because if you say, I paid $1 for this, I'm selling it for 50. I paid 2, sold it for 20. I
Yeah.
think that people get kind of the wrong idea.
Right.
Um,
So when you're doing these haul videos, it's more about what this is worth, what you're going to be
Yeah, no, you
posting.
can say like the market value for this skirt is about $22, right? I like doing that because it gives people an idea. They know, I mean, like depending on where you live is what prices are.
Right.
So if you go over that, it's going to also piss people off and make people jealous if if you are constantly finding good brands
Yeah.
and you're not paying very much money. That's going to make people hate you.
I know.
So
Yeah.
I wouldn't do that. I would just be like, I live in LA. I have great access to a lot of great fashion. I want to share it with you guys. I'm in the recycling because the second most polluting industry is the fashion industry. So let's do our part and just, upcycling.
Yeah.
And I'll show
Okay.
you guys the styles that I like. That's also a thing that's important too. Like I have switched into dressing nice because I want to do this. Right? Like I really don't care. I know how to do it, but it's not like important to me that much. But I really want to give the right image.
Right.
Like when I go to Posh Fest, I want to look like the person
Like
that
a
people want to
boss.
buy stuff from.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to look like that. So like I decided you're gonna live the lifestyle and be that person,
Right.
and because it's important to like you're like right now where you are, if you were talking about it, people would get it.
Mm-hmm.
And they can see it in the background. They can see the mannequin. They can see the stuff. They can see you have a certain style to yourself. But
Yeah.
you're gonna spend a lot of nights crying once you start it because it's gonna be brutal. It's gonna be so bad. No matter what you do, they're gonna tear
Right.
you apart. So just don't
Right.
worry.
Oh man.
Just DM me and say I need someone to cry to because it's gonna be bad.
Oh my God. Well, honestly, I've had a nicer wardrobe since going to thrift stores than ever in my entire life. Let me tell you that. It's
I
amazing.
know that's something
So cool.
interesting that really frugal people often have the nicest stuff.
Yeah.
And if you're thrifting, you're also if you're selling that kind of stuff. Like now that I sell clothing, it's insane. My photographer is also super well dressed now.
Nice.
So he's just looking at it all day, and now he's like, upgrading everything just by
Right.
default.
Right. Well, it's like I couldn't afford it before, and now it's like, oh, okay, it's $7 for this. Like, okay, yeah.
Exactly. Now you got
So
it. That's true.
yeah.
That is true too. You can
So
now afford the fashion.
yeah.
Um, and nothing beats really wearing it for a while, using it, and then selling it for a profit.
Yeah. Definitely.
My girlfriend actually has an issue with that. She wants it for sale or not for sale. She doesn't want me wearing stuff that's for sale. She's like, what if somebody buys it? That's
Oh, like
as
if
a
it's
buyer.
already listed?
Yeah, because I do that. I
Oh,
had in my custom SKU, I put where it is,
okay.
and I put closet if I'm wearing it.
That's so
And she's like,
funny.
I better not look through your store and see that. I don't want that. One or the other.
Yeah, that's how I am though. I'm like, okay, either selling this or listing it. It's like it's in my real closet, it's not in my Poshmark closet. You know what I mean?
No, I'm doing
So,
both. I like it.
yeah.
Plus, I feel like if I'm wearing it, I can describe it better.
Yeah. That's
I
good.
can like it's and like right now, I'm shopping from this guy's closet, and he basically only wears Lululemon and Tom Ford,
Oh wow.
and I'm looking at it, and I'm just waiting because I can tell this guy's patterns. He's like gets sick of something, and then he's ordering new stuff.
Yeah.
I can just see when it pops up, it's priced too low. I can flip it also later.
Oh yeah.
And he's really stylish because I've never even like I don't understand the prints for Lulu. It's kind of blowing my mind because, for example, there's ABC pants for guys. It's very common. His ABC pants are always like camo or olive green, and I don't see those at the store. I don't know
Oh,
where he's getting limited prints, but I can see why they go for more money.
right. Right.
Crazy, crazy.
Yeah. I know I follow, some bloggers out here and stuff, and I just wait for them to list it in their closet because I'll see the photo shoot or something. And they'll be like,
That's right.
only wore it once. So I follow. Yeah. It's fun.
And I think you have an opportunity to do that because I think that YouTube is going to crush TV. I mean, it already is, but creating your own brand, the opportunities that you will get, don't sleep on that as an opportunity for income.
Okay.
Like I could live 100% on just my YouTube income, and
Wow.
it's not even my main thing.
Well, that's
You know,
awesome.
and it generates that money. And when you are serving people, like for example, my audience is people like you actually
Right.
want to build a small business. They want to work on things. So, right now, thank you for being on the show because you're giving people a lot of ideas on time management, scheduling. What are you supposed to do? Where can you go with it? Can you really make money?
Right. Well, thank you for having me too.
It's all there.
That's
So
great.
let's see here. Also, we're talking about, so you do work out in the morning. I want you to restructure your day. So the hardest part for you is first.
Okay. I can do that.
So for most people, that's listing.
Okay.
Let's
That way you're
see.
fresh and you have energy.
Mhm. Do you do flat lay? Do you do mannequin? Do you do both?
I do both. Flat lay mainly for like the pants and the denim, and then or if it's like a t-shirt or something, or I'll use a hanger for stuff that is more simple, simply structured. But I do use a mannequin if it's a dress, um, just so you can see the 3D shape. Or I'll model it if it's my size sometime.
That is awesome. I'm gonna start doing that. I can't wait to model my stuff. It's gonna be amazing.
It's fun. It's like a creative, fun thing with the, kind of
It
doing
is. It is
filters
fun.
and stuff and different backdrops and stuff. So it's
I
cool.
can't wait till I can figure out some add-ons that are my own products that I can just stage inside the photos.
Oh yeah.
Because I like that. I like pants, shirt. I feel like you could get a private label uh, dress shoe, or a pair of flats or heels or whatever, or like as an example, the Chloe scallop flats.
Mhm. Yeah.
Those are super cool, and there's nothing about them that is proprietary.
Right.
I feel like you could make Raquel's scalloped flats and throw them in the picture, and it's not that hard or expensive, and they can do the exact same design
Right.
and throw those in every picture, and people are like, "Whoa, nice! I can get those flats.
Get
They're on
the
trend,
and
and
bundle.
bundle."
Hmm.
So I'm excited for the opportunities there. Let's see, modeling. Amazon seller says modeling clothing is a great way to stand out and increase sales. I agree. I have
Yeah.
a bunch of different ideas. But when you model, are you doing mannequin and you or just you?
So I'll do, like yesterday it was nice out and I was like, I just needed to model some shirts that I thought would just not sell if they're just hanging on the hanger or if they're mannequin. They were just kind of too plain. And so I just had to style them up a little more. But I'll do the model and then maybe just hanging on a hanger or a mannequin. So it just depends on how I want to. I guess it just depends on what looks best, for that particular item.
I
So.
really, really, really want Poshmark to allow home goods
Oh yeah, Manish said they were gonna work on that. I remember talking to him about that.
because I just think that is cool. Now you're in your kitchen, have a certain mug, certain silverware, certain decor.
Hmm.
I think that would just be a great transition into it.
I
Plus,
think
they
so.
have the shipping discount.
Like small items, like decorative, yeah, that would fit into their shipping model.
So Duncan is saying in the chat, if you have problems washing clothes, you could have somebody clean it for you. Have you looked at how much that costs where you live?
Yeah, well, they do it by the pound, so yeah, it would just be. I don't know if it would eat into my cost too much, but yeah, it's definitely a possibility. Just give it all to the laundromat, the
I
fluff and
tried
fold.
that with men's dress clothing. And it basically was awesome because it forced me to buy $30 and above because I didn't want to pay the dry cleaning cost.
Right.
And the prep and photography and setup is so fast when everything is ironed
Right.
or dry cleaned or pressed. It's like bam, you can just quickly crush through it. So
Yeah.
it does go a lot quicker, but it's also expensive. So then it just makes your store more of a boutique
Yeah.
versus a common store. And that's something also you want to be known for. Like, if as my store has grown, like when I first started, it looked like a garage sale,
Yeah.
and as my store gets nicer, it looks almost like a boutique store. If I were to continue this path, it would not be unusual for me to get a storefront
Oh
because this
wow.
stuff is so good. Even if it's pre-owned, the stuff I'm selling is still $60 and above, which means it's the best.
That's really good.
Right, so if you can move that direction, you have the
Yeah.
opportunity also. And then it's just like part of you. Do you run a thrift store or do you run a boutique?
Right. Yeah, I
What
definitely
is
want
your
to
brand?
focus on a higher price point because it's less work. It's better than doing $10 here, $10 there. I'd rather sell $90, and then like just get higher end.
But that being said, I am going to give one caveat. I do like Plato's Closet. So
Right.
like as a shopper, they have a designer rack. They have a designer rack, they have an on-trend rack, and then the rest of the store is just common items that bread and butter, jeans,
Hmm.
tops, dresses, common tanks,
Yeah.
normal stuff. It's like in the $10 to $30 range.
Right.
I actually don't mind that type of store. I just think you need to also have the designer rack and the
Yeah.
on trend. And when I walk into the store, on the left is the on trend, on the right is the designer. Then the rest of it is normal, or they'll put the designer stuff in the back, so you have to walk past all the common stuff to it.
Right. That's smart.
And then for me, since I'm new to women's stuff, I like to look at put back rack or whatever.
Oh yeah, that's really good. Just right near
Because
the
I have to
fitting rooms. Yeah.
right near the fitting room, and I get to see what women have already picked out.
Hmm. Yeah.
Let's see. Tanisha says she doesn't believe in washing clothing. It depends. Like, I get it. It's like environmentally conscious, and when I buy clothing online, I'm gonna wash it anyway. I just think you
Right.
should disclose it because some people care. They want you to
Yeah, I
wash
mean,
it.
I was washing every single item or doing the the dry cleaning, and now it was just getting too crazy. So, I've just been doing the dry, like a hot dryer with the dryer sheet, just to get the dust off and like the smell,
Mhm.
just to freshen it up.
Also, I'm not taking on any coaching clients, but if I was coaching you specifically, in your week, I would have 1 to 5 hours of looking for wholesalers.
Okay.
So that would be probably the hardest thing you do. So
Okay.
from 9 a.m. till 10 a.m., right when they open, I would start calling and saying, "Hey, my name is Raquel. I have an online store. It's Roxy from Moxie Shop. This is
Mhm.
the or Moxie from Moxie Shop. This is my URL. I'm selling on Poshmark and Instagram. What does it take for to open up a wholesale line with you guys?"
Okay.
And if you did that every day, you're gonna get lucky and find somebody who's close to you that's like, "Hey, we have a bunch of dresses we can't move. Do you want to try it?" You're gonna find people who are like, "Let's do net 90. Here's a bunch of clothing you sell and pay us after."
Right.
There's a bunch of opportunities, especially where you live.
Right.
So
Yeah, I've interned at the showrooms downtown before, so I have some connections over there, but I just haven't branched off into doing a lot of wholesale, but I need to. So
you at
it's good.
least this is one of the things I was talking about for skill development.
Hmm.
You don't have to use it, but it's just like a course in college that you just take.
Right.
You can learn a little bit of wholesale. I'm excited for you because that's a great opportunity to meet people. Um, the sample sales down there are really
Oh
awesome.
yeah.
So I'm gonna have to come down there and hang out.
I
We'll
know.
do a day of sourcing. I want to see because I'm also I have to start as part of eBay influencers program. I have to start a meetup group,
Okay.
and I don't know exactly what to do with that. So because um, so I'm thinking about just doing it in California because there's just so many resellers here, and I'm already here, and you're like 5 hours from me, so I
Yeah.
can meet up with a bunch of people, and I want to try this posh meetup thing, the
Yes.
posh sip and
Posh and
whatever,
sip.
posh and sip.
They're so
So I
fun.
wanna but the
They've been
thing
good.
is, like, I'm not that demographic. I'm a guy, so I don't
No,
know.
but there's guys that are coming now to the parties and stuff. Like they're really
Okay.
fun. We just had this huge party out here that Poshmark threw. It was the Posh Nation, I think, or Posh Party Live. It was called. So fun.
Mhm.
I mean, it was a party. It was great. So
Cool, cool.
men,
So
women, everybody.
awesome. If people in the chat want to reach out to you, where can they find you?
They can find me on Instagram, and it's at Moxie from Roxy Shop. And my Poshmark is just at Moxie from Roxy. So
Perfect.
that.
So I put that link in the description below, guys, if you want to check
Great.
out her Instagram and follow her. She's also going to maybe do non-copyright music YouTube videos in the future.
Yeah,
Because it sucks
definitely.
if you upload it with any video, they just block everything.
I know. And I've made some fun little style videos and they're just like blocked. So, wah,
And that's
wah.
also something I would like you to do is
Okay.
get a YouTube channel that's able to be monetized.
Okay.
So I don't know if you have enough time or hours or whatever for that to happen, but that's like an ungated Amazon account.
Okay.
I want you to have an Amazon account that you could use if you wanted to. I want you to have a YouTube channel if you could use if you wanted to. Those are like get out of jail cards in case one
Yeah.
thing doesn't work.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm just wondering
And
what type of content I would do for YouTube, but because that's I've just been contemplating that. So I don't know how to start, I guess. But
it's very hard to be different. So what I would do is just be you,
okay.
because like my girlfriend gave me the best advice for YouTube, which is just do what you like to do.
Okay.
Otherwise, you get bored of it, and then if you don't do it, it doesn't work.
Right.
So, and if I had to take a break, I had to change the name of my channel and to like, just take a step back and try to understand like, how do I keep this fun for me so I can continue doing it?
Yeah.
You're going to have to reinvent yourself constantly like Madonna and just make
Yeah.
it make it perfect and you. So that's cool. So do you have a better idea of what you want to structure your day like after this call?
Definitely. Thank you so much. I have so much to work on. I'm so excited.
So one more thing, I'd like to invite you into one of my mastermind calls in the morning.
Okay.
So you can see. So once you pick your goal, so let's say your goal is you want to make 6 figures.
Hmm.
Somebody else's goal may be I want to list 10 items a day because I'm busy, or somebody may say I want to learn how to do photography. Whatever their one goal is, each time they're on the call, they want to move closer. And I would like you to see what 10 people in a group together looks like.
Okay.
Because once you start surrounding yourself with people who do that, you're going to feel way more motivated.
Yeah.
Surrounding yourself with people who make you feel lazy all the time,
Right.
but it's okay, because when people are like the most happy when they make the most progress. So that's where I'm trying to push you in that direction to challenge yourself. And worst case scenario, you'll definitely have felt like you tried really hard.
Right. Oh, great.
Cool.
Sounds
So do you have
great.
any final thoughts before we call it a night?
Um, I guess just this has been a pleasure speaking with you and chatting, and I'm so excited, and I feel just refreshed and ready to go, ready to take on the reselling business.
Awesome.
So
Sounds good.
yeah,
Thanks
thank
everybody for stopping
you.
by.
Thank you.
Bye.